to Vicky and I and to Katie?
No, not that one.
Not that one. Okay.
Okay, we've started recording. I'll go through and make sure that all of our co-hosts or all of our speakers are made as co-hosts, and I'm going to go ahead and mute me.
Right. Thank you very much, Vicky. Hello, everybody. As you can see right here, I am joining you from home. Unfortunately, there is no internet at home, so I'm using my phone to join this Zoom meeting. Welcome, new students to WVU. We are the staff from the Office of Graduate Education and Life, and I am Dr. Betty May. I am the Program Director for Graduate Student Success. We have a full hour and a half of agenda for you this morning. So Dr. Richard Thomas will be speaking to you in a few minutes. He is the Associate Provost for Graduate Academic Affairs, who will be representing WVU to welcome you. And then we will have several staff from the library who will be sharing library resources with you, and staff from the Caruth Center, which is our student counseling center, will be here as well to tell you about the services that they provide. Then Susan Hennigan from the Office of Accessibility Services will speak to you about services available for students who may need accessibility services. And then Dr. Tricia Phillips from the Office of Research Integrity will speak to you on the topic of research integrity. And then we will have the president and the vice president of the Graduates and Professional Student Senate who will be welcoming you on behalf of all graduate students. And then Kate Schobaum from the Purpose Center, the WVU Purpose Center, will be here to speak to you about the how the Purpose Center will be able to help graduate students. And then at the end, we will have 10 minutes for questions and my closing remarks. And so I was going to share with you my PowerPoint to introduce to you our staff. But since I can't do that using my phone, I will just introduce them. Dr. Richard Thomas is our Associate Provost for Graduate Academic Affairs. We also have Dr. Jessica Queener, who is the Assistant Provost for Graduate Education Policy. Michaelin Stump, who's the Program Director for Graduate Academic Affairs. Vicky Crowder, who's our Administrative Assistant, and Winda Malati, who's our Graduate Student Assistant. And I know Vicky is here today and Winda also, and Dr. Thomas, I am going to turn the time over to you to welcome our new students.
Good morning, everybody. I am Richard Thomas, the Associate Provost for Graduate Education, and I would like to welcome you to graduate school or professional school at WVU. Looking at this report, there are just over 500 new graduate students this spring, and I know that you're all super excited about starting your graduate degree. I hope things are going well for you so far and will go smoothly for you over the next few days and weeks as you start your graduate program. Right now, you may be a little overwhelmed with all the information coming at you all at once from your advisor, from your department. If you're a graduate assistant, you get more information about the responsibilities involved with your assistantship. I do hope you find this information today presented in this orientation will be helpful for you. Obviously, as with everything, there's a learning curve, and it will take you some time to get into a groove. So don't worry right now if you're getting information overload. In a few days, you'll get into your groove and everything will be going as smoothly as possible. Remember, graduate school is a process, and it can be very frustrating. It can be really slow sometimes, but remember that graduate school is a marathon. It's not a mad dash to the finish. Don't let this frustration that you might experience by getting so much information throw you off track. It takes time, so be patient. When you have questions, do not hesitate to find someone with answers. Whether it's your advisor, your professors, or your friends. Our office, the Office of Graduate Education and Life, can help you as well. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. We have a new webpage with a lot of information, links to resources, how to contact us. So take a look at our webpage and you'll find a lot of information. The best piece of advice I can give you is to maintain a healthy balance between your work and your life. Don't burn yourself out. Don't let your work consume you. It's important for you to work hard, but it's also important to maintain your physical and mental health. Self-care is important. So find some time to exercise or rest or watch a movie, hang out with your friends, take care of yourself. Keep the balance between your work and your life in perspective. This balance is so important in sustaining your productivity and preserving your health at the same time. So, welcome to graduate school at WVU. I think you'll find your time here to be intellectually stimulating and rewarding. Good luck with your graduate studies. Work hard, and I wish you great success. So back to you, Betty.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. I forgot to mention where our office is. So if I had my PowerPoint sharing with you, that would be easier. But we are located on the second floor of the Mountain Lair, room 249. It is on the second floor, directly above the Hatfield, the canteen or cafeteria on the first floor. And as Dr. Thomas mentioned, our website is easy to find. It's just graduateeducation.wvu.edu. And our email is grad, G-R-A-D, and then ed, grad-ed at mail.wvu.edu. Feel free to email us if you have any question about your graduate studies here. I know we're running a little bit ahead of schedule. Are Matthew, Jeffrey, and Jonah here?
Yeah, we're all here.
Okay, if you're ready, go ahead and start your presentation.
Sure. Can everybody see my slides okay?
Yes.
Yes, great. Well, welcome. My name is Matt Steele. I'm a research service with the library, research services librarian with the library. I'm also here with Jeff Worst, who is the science librarian at the downtown library, and Jonah McAllister Erickson, who is the scholarly communications librarian at the library. And we're going to talk to you about some of the resources that are available to you from the library. I know the next 15 minutes will be, you're going to hang on to everything I say, but we do have, and as Dr. Thomas said, there's going to be an overwhelming amount of information for you. But we do have these slides that have been sent off to you with all the links, and we'll talk about how you get to some of these services and resources we have for you. But we just want to kind of give you an introduction to what is available to you to help your graduate student success while you are at the university. So we're going to kind of talk about just what is available to you in general at the library, some research services, assets that we have, how we promote collaboration and scholarship at the library, some learning opportunities that you'll have, and then we'll finish up with any questions questions that you might have about using the library here. So the first big thing is the library website. The library website is going to be essentially your hub to get to any of these services or to start doing your research with the resources we have. This is where you will find our databases, our ebooks, and even research guides to help you out along the way. We have 3 campuses that you are free to join any of them. If you click the link at the bottom, you can see the hours for each one of the campuses and the locations for it. We have one in downtown Evansdale and then the Health Sciences Center on the second floor. One of the big things that you'll probably want to utilize is the actual physical space of the library. We have a lot of great study rooms. And we'll even talk about a specialized one later for graduate students, but each one of these study rooms comes equipped with monitors that you can plug your laptop into and work together with your fellow classmates or whoever you are working with. There is a reservation center that you can get to either on the library's website, it's up in the top right-hand corner, but I also provided a link here that you can easily book any of your rooms with it. And then finally, we have poster printing at the library. If you are working on a presentation or a project that requires a poster, you can print them at rates that are much cheaper than if you would go to FedEx and Kinko's or whatever. Each 3 branches has poster printing, so it is not unique to one particular branch of the library. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Worst, who will give you some insight into some of the resources we have for research services here at the library.
All right, thanks, Matt. Yeah, good morning, everybody. As Matt said, my name is Jeff Worst. I'm another one of the research services librarians. I specifically cover the STEM fields based out of downtown, but I'm going to talk about some of the services that we offer that are going to be most relevant in your day-to-day lives as grad students. So next slide. First up is EBSCO Discovery Service. This is our catalog, basically. It's the giant search all bar in the middle of the library website. You might have seen it if you've been there before. This is how you can access all of our collections and start finding things. We're updating it more and more all the time, adding new features and things to it. But this is a great place to get started, whatever your research might be in, if you just want to see what we have. We also have a lot of databases that's also there on the library website, very easy to find. Databases get more in-depth with more specific resources for various fields and subject areas that you might be studying. So as you can see here, we have an example of the poli-sci databases. They have nice descriptions of what's in them and how to access them. And again, we're updating this list constantly with any changes that we might have. We also have a number of journals. That's the eJournals button there on the main library website. All of our journals are provided through Browsine, which is a really nice service where you can browse and find just random journals that you might be looking for based on subject fields, or look for specific ones. If you log into Browsine as well, you can save specific journals that you want to look at, which is really nice for graduate students because you can see, again, individual journals in your fields and think about areas where you might want to start publishing in as well. We don't have everything though, but we can get other things for you with Interlibrary Loan, or ILLiad as it's sometimes called. With Interlibrary Loan, we can get any item from anywhere in the world, totally free of charge. You just have to log in and request it, and we will go out and do the work to find it for you and get it for you, no matter what it might be. Obviously, you might not want to do this at, 7 o'clock on a Sunday night for something that's due Monday morning, but know that this is an option to get items for you if we might not have them. We also have a number of research guides, or LibGuides as they're sometimes called. These can be found at the top right-hand corner of the library website, and these give very in-depth information into specific subject fields, classes, or even individual assignments. These are written by some of the librarians or sometimes even other faculty here to, again, give more in-depth information into those specific things. And we also have the Ask a Librarian service. You're free to ask us questions anytime you want. We are not fancy enough to afford AI or chatbots or anything like that. So our Ask a Librarian service is manned by our actual librarians or graduate student assistants. You can ask us questions either through chat, send us an email, or give us a phone call, and we can help you with that. And we also have a whole bunch of other services here. The librarians can enhance your success with, quick research questions, your research projects. We can connect you with specific subject librarians. Like I said, I'm the science librarian, but you might want to talk to someone in the humanities, for example. We can track down some hard to find sources for you, help you develop a search strategy, no matter what you might be researching in, help you with scholarly communications, which Jonah is going to talk about in a little bit, and help you track down some of the essential resources for your discipline. And like I said, subject librarians play a very crucial role in supporting your academic journey, no matter what subject you might be in. Every field here at the university has a dedicated librarian that can assist you with specific needs in your research field they know a little bit more about what you're going to be doing in those topics and areas. So feel free to reach out, track down your subject specialists, and get a hold of us. We can help you out with your graduate student journey. And I'll be turning it over now to Jonah McAllister Erickson to talk about collaboration and scholarship.
It is helpful if I unmute myself when I'm going to talk. Only been 4 years with Zoom, right? Okay. So we offer a number of different opportunities for graduate students to use different resources within the libraries and spaces within the libraries. If you go to the next slide, Matt. So we have a dedicated graduate research commons at the downtown campus library that is available to graduate students with swipe access. It has 2 seminar rooms and is equipped with a variety of computers, collaborative spaces, whiteboards, etc. It's a great space to use. Next slide, please. We also have services that are available not just to graduate students, but might be of particular interest to graduate students to help you understand the impact and reach of the research that you'll be doing here at WVU and hopefully publishing. You can talk to me about opportunities to find venues for publication, how to increase the reach of your works, etc. One way that we urge most people to increase the reach of their works is by depositing a copy of their work in the research repository at WVU, which is our open access digital repository, which increases the reach of your works and makes them freely available, at least a version of your work freely available. The research repository at WVU is open to any kind of scholarly creative work created by faculty, staff, and students currently enrolled at the university. Next slide, please. The research repository is also the home for electronic theses, dissertations, problem and project reports, as well as MFA, Masters of Fine Arts theses. The libraries provide support to assist students with formatting and submitting their electronic theses and dissertations, broadly speaking. And you can find more information about the requirements for ETDs at the website linked at the bottom of this slide. I would urge you to look at the ETD requirements and attend one of our workshops earlier than later. And we have that information available both on the ETD website as well as some of the workshop opportunities that Matt is going to discuss in a couple of slides. Next slide, please. We also offer assistance with systematic reviews. The systematic review service is run out of our health sciences library, and systematic reviews can help you to synthesize evidence from various studies to provide a comprehensive overview. It's a very specialized service that we're happy to offer or excited to offer. Next slide, please. In addition to systematic reviews, one other major area of research support that we offer at the WVU libraries is research data management assistance. And one of the primary ways we do that is the DMP tool, the Data Management Plan tool, which is a free open source DMP creation tool run by the California Digital Library. And WVU has an institutional relationship with that. So if you're doing research, particularly in the sciences or engineering, and the PI in your lab says, hey, I want you to take the lead on writing our data management plan, the DMP tool is the go-to resource for creating those plans. Next slide, please. And I'm turning it back over to Matt to talk about some learning opportunities. Matt, we've lost your slides.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to learn also how to unmute these things here. So the library also helps you develop some of your soft skills that you might not necessarily learn in class when it comes to how to do research. But in addition, it can also supplement what you are learning in class with it. One way we do this is through a suite of workshops that we offer. All of these workshops are free. They can range from how to increase your impact through scholarly communication, what your rights are as an author, submitting to your ETD to the research repository, how to work with data, how to analyze data using particular programs like R and R Studio to run analysis free from a lab and on your own personal computers. What do you do with all the research you are finding, how to organize it with citation managers and export it into the work that you are doing, and how to just do research in general, how to take a popular source that you have found and track down a peer-reviewed article using it, how to do a literature review, some work with the systematic reviews, as we have talked about. You can find all these workshops on the website. There's also going to be a link for you in these slides. There's new workshops that are added throughout the semester. So this is not a complete list when you go there right now of what is available. There'll be more in February. February and March tend to be the busier times for these types of workshops. So you can always keep an eye out for it. They come in the OGLE newsletters too, and you can also see them on eNews or UNews. And in addition, we're going to this next month, we are going to be hosting a Love Data Week, which will be a suite of resources of how you work with data in general and some background information on data. So you can find those workshops again through the link on your slides, or we'll have information on the website when it gets closer to it. It'll be the week of February 12th through the 16th. So that'll be something to look out for. And then in fall, looking forward to fall, the week before classes start on the fall semester, we offer what is called our Graduate Student Immersion Program. For this, we take 24 students who submit to the library, and they are provided with a 3-day sessions of how to increase your research skills. And it is you work with librarians throughout the whole thing. It gives you $125 stipend when you complete it. It will be the 4th year that we are running it. And students who attend it always come out more knowledgeable on how to perform their own research and show great advances in how they can actually approach that. So this is it. We also have, in addition to all these things that I've been mentioning, we also have a dedicated research guide for graduate students. It is Graduate Students Guide to the Library that will talk you through a bunch of the stuff that we've gone over today, but you can also see about how to use the website, how to use interlibrary loan, and how to look up individual journals, along with the various workshops we have and the services that we offer. One thing that we don't typically talk about during this, but just because I saw it right now, you guys, by virtue of being a student at WVU, now have access to the New York Times website and the Wall Street Journal's website, including their archives for free. But you do need to sign up for it using our links through it, and you need to sign up for an account with your WVU email address. But then you can go in and access everything that they have on it. So with that being said, I will stop sharing and I will open it up. And if we have any questions, we're happy to answer any questions. And if not, we can turn it over to the next speaker.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. I have home internet now, so I'm using my computer to speak to you. We do have a little bit of time, so if any students have any questions about the library, feel free to put in your question in chat while our librarians are still here. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, I put a link in the chat. Graduate students, you will find yourself in the library a lot during your graduate studies. So make sure you're familiar with the services that are available to you. It really will be very helpful. throughout the process. And our librarians are wonderful. They are here to help. So don't be afraid to ask questions. All right, I see no questions for now.
Thank you very much, Dr. May.
Thank you. All right, here's the PowerPoint that I mentioned earlier that I was going to share, which now I will. At 10:30, staff from the cruise services will be here. I wonder if Sarah or Haley is here yet.
It's Haley. I'm trying to figure out how to get my camera to work.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing screen.
Betty, I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, we are all set whenever you are ready.
Okay, we are. We're ready for you.
Awesome. Then I will go ahead and share my screen really quickly. Let's see. All right. Well, thank you so much for letting us have this opportunity to come talk to everybody today. It's really, really nice to meet everyone. My name is Sarah. Oh, I don't know why that's happening, but we'll figure that out. But like I was saying, my name is Sarah. I am at the Caruth Center, which is the mental health service on campus. And Haley and I are here today just to kind of talk a little bit about what kind of services you can access at Caruth. And how to access those services if you need them. So really today, what we're going to take a look at is honestly what Haley's role is, and you'll get to meet Haley here in just a second, what that means for you as a grad student, how she can help you. And then also just to go through all of the different mental health services that you can access here at WVU. All right, Haley, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, everybody. My name is Haley. I am also one of the counselors here at the Caruth Center. My role is a behavioral therapist and also graduate student services specialist, which means I work closely with the Office of Graduate Education and Life to provide services for graduate students and figure out how we can best serve the graduate student population. We do a lot of outreach with grad students, and we're adding more of those things all of the time. And we just want to become more involved and figure out how we can better serve the mental health needs of all of the grad students.
So thank you. So Haley does work very closely with the grad students. So if you all need anything, obviously all the counselors here at the center can be helpful. Haley's role really is to work closely with the Office of Graduate Education and Life to ensure that we're providing the most helpful services and resources for grad students on campus. All right, we're going to shift gears a little bit and kind of go into what campus resources look like. And really, our campus resources are obviously the mental health services here. So I don't know if you all know where the Caruth Center is located, but I think that's the first step. If you are familiar with the Rec Center, we are in the building right next door. That is the Student Education Building. I know that map says Health Education, that's an old name for it. But we are in the same building as the Applied Human Sciences department. But we're just on the other side. So you can access student health on the bottom floor. And then we're all the way on the top on the second floor of this building. Something really cool about the Caruth Center is that we have satellite offices across campus. So there may be students on this call who are maybe in law school. There may be students on this call who may be student athletes. or you may be over at the health science building studying medicine, right? So keep in mind that you can access Caruth services at these different satellite offers a really big advantage to you, because those clinicians there are really specialized in treating students in those areas. So for our health science students, we do have clinicians over on the health science campus at the Be Well office. Seth and Lainey, they're great. We have clinicians over in athletics for our student athletes, Sophia, Luna, and Mitch. And then we also have a clinician over at the law school, Kathy, who predominantly sees just law school students. So overall, you can access mental health services at the main Caruth Center, but if you're interested in accessing services at those satellite offices, you're absolutely welcome to do that as well. So let's talk a little bit about how to access those services. I think the best place to kind of start is our website. Not only can you access the information about services that we provide here, but you can actually schedule appointments online at the website, which is really great. I would also encourage everybody here on the call today to take a peek at the phone number that's on the screen, the one that's underlined in bold and red. That's a really important one. That's going to let you access scheduling an appointment. That's going to give you access to the 24/7 urgent crisis line. And that phone kind of shifts over at 5 from being just answered by the front desk to being the emergency line after hours. I'm going to pause right there because I just kind of threw out a lot of information to everybody, and I want to provide space for questions in case people have questions at this point. Okay. So I'm going to toss it to Haley to talk a little bit about what we do here at Caruth.
So at Caruth, we offer several different things. The thing that students access the most is short-term counseling. And that is when a student will come in and speak with a counselor in one-on-one sessions. We also offer a lot of groups and workshops, and they're changing all of the time. We do offer every semester a graduate student support group. It usually happens in the evenings. I don't know what evening that's going to be this semester, but we will send the information out to Office of Graduate Education and Life, and then they'll make sure that everybody is aware of the graduate student support group. We also have an urgent crisis clinic here, and what that is if for some reason you are in crisis and you find that you're unable to wait for an appointment to see a counselor, you can stop in the center from 8:30 until 5 Monday through Friday, and you can speak directly to somebody. Oh, thanks, Sarah. So this is a really interesting and great slide about how we can decide what is crisis or an urgent moment. So some of the things we see that we would consider to be a crisis or urgent would be a recent assault. If you've lost someone in your family or someone who's close to you, any kind of suicidal thought, ideation. If you haven't slept for 3 days or more, we would want to address that and help you through that. If you're struggling with excessive substance use, and that can be subjective. So if you think that you're excessively using substances, please come in and talk to us. Or if you're having any issues of self-harm, and that would be cutting yourself, burning yourself, hitting yourself, anything that you're doing that you feel like doing to yourself that's harmful. So you can come in as soon as possible. Like I said, you come in the morning. We're here from 9 to 5, and you can speak directly to a counselor with no wait. And you can also call here to consult to see if you aren't sure if you should come in or not. You can call here and speak to a counselor, excuse me, from 9 to 5 every day, and you can make the decision together on whether you want to come in and be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Haley. I think it's important too to kind of remember that a lot of you on this call today may be teaching classes, or you may be part of a research lab where you're working with other students. So keep in mind, you may interact with people who may be in distress as well. So if you have any questions about somebody who you may think is having a hard time or struggling, don't hesitate to give us a call here to figure out maybe how to best handle this situation. So our urgent crisis clinic is available to you at any time, 8:30 to 5. And then if something like that would happen after hours, that's when you would call that main phone number that I talked about to just talk with our after hours line about what's going on with you, or maybe what's going on with another person that you have questions about. All right, so just to kind of go into a little bit more detail about some of the services that we offer. Let's Chat is something that's, I think, a really good resource for students who might not necessarily feel like they want to engage in full episode of care here at the center. They might not feel like they need therapy, but they really feel like, excuse me, talking to somebody might help, right? So Let's Chat is an opportunity for students to come in, well, not come into the office, we're actually out on campus, to stop by our table and chat with the clinician in a very informal way. I think this provides less barriers to care and also let students access services that maybe they're not willing to do at this point. These are just short consultations with the clinician. You can just stop by, there's no appointments needed. And you can find the Let's Chat schedule on our website. This year we'll actually be in the engineering building as well as in the mountain layer at the rec center. So you can catch us different places for Let's Chat. Something else that's available to all WVU students currently is Talkspace. A lot of people have heard of Talkspace in a very like commercial way, but it's a service provided to students here that allows them access to free mental health care. So maybe students who are studying outside of West Virginia, or students who might not be able to come in and access Caruth services, Talkspace is a good option to receive free therapy. And it's really easy to access. You just go to that little landing page and type in your WVU email, and you can access 2 free sessions per month, as well as unlimited messaging, which is really cool. So on top of resources that you have here on campus, there are resources that are available to you, maybe that are outside of WVU. Something that we haven't mentioned is the crisis text line. I'm totally aware that a lot of people aren't super into calling on the phone or talking to somebody live. So if it feels more comfy for you to text somebody, the crisis text line is a really good option. So if you're experiencing crisis yourself, it's really easy just to shoot a text to 741-741. So text WVU to 741-741. And then you could engage in texting with a person who could kind of de-escalate or help you through the crisis that you're experiencing. Ultimately too, there are national hotlines that are helpful to students. Maybe you're not super comfy calling WVU for help. Use the 988 number. That's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. If you're a veteran, there's a line specifically for veterans, as well as folks of the LGBTQ+ community. There's also Trans Lifeline, which is really helpful as well. You can find these numbers on the screen, and if any of you have a phone and you want to take a picture of this, these are really important numbers to kind of keep and save for yourself in case you need them in the future. Some other resources that you may want to keep in mind as a grad student, Healthy Mind University is available to you in case maybe you are looking to access psychiatry or longer term therapy. So we have even more comprehensive behavioral health services available to you on campus. If you're interested in accessing more of those longer term behavioral health services, hop into Caruth, we'll get you connected. West Virginia 211 is a really great website to just search all resources available to you in West Virginia. This can be helpful for folks experiencing food insecurity or folks who are needing help with housing. We here at Caruth often help folks get connected to providers that we don't have here, so off-campus providers. So if you're looking to establish care with somebody in the community here in Morgantown, come on in, we'll get you connected. And those other things there on the screen that you're seeing are just different websites and a wellness inventory that can be helpful for you to kind of gauge where you are in regards to your own well-being. All right, we're coming to a close here on some of the information that we have. I just wanted to pop up our social medias on the screen. Those are things that we work pretty hard on to try to get out information that can be helpful to folks. So if you're interested in mental health tips and tricks, check out our socials because there's a lot of those on there. All right. I think that's all the information that we have for you, but I absolutely want to pause for questions in case folks have questions. Well, if questions do pop up, please give us a call at Caruth. We will answer any questions. Haley's going to continue to work very closely with the Office of Graduate Student Education and Life. And we're just going to continue to work to provide the best care for grad students here at WVU.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Sarah
thank
and
you.
Haley.
Have a good semester, everyone.
Yeah.
Students, we will continue to include services provided by the Caruth Center through our newsletter, which you should start receiving next Monday morning. Okay, I see Susan here. Our next speaker, let me share my screen, is Susan Hannigan, Assistant Director of Accessibility Accommodations from the Office of Accessibility Services. Susan, take it over.
All right. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, Betty. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and try to share my screen if that's okay. Oh, is there any way that I could get access to share?
Vicky will need to give you access.
Okay.
Okay, you should be able to now, Susan.
All righty. 1 second. Okay. All right. So can everybody see my screen okay? Can you guys see that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So really just want to kind of do just a really brief run through just about our office and our services for students. Essentially, we work with all students across campus that have any kind of disability related accommodation needs. Those can be academic accommodations. We have students that have housing. Also then if there's, campus access or mobility needs as well, then we can assist students with those sorts of things. So really it's anything. It can be a temporary disability where a student comes to you and they've broken their hand, or they come to us and they've broken a leg and now they're going to need elevator access for a semester while they heal, or they might need to use accessible transportation. There could be a variety of things that students might need. And so we serve all of those. And essentially, we want to enhance the students' educational opportunities and equal access across all of our campuses. We work with our students and our faculty and staff to make sure that the accommodation implementation goes smoothly and, just to ensure access. All of the accommodations are provided in accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. Process is an interactive one. Basically an accommodation is just an adjustment that is made within the system for our students. As part of the process, students are asked to speak with their instructors to talk about their authorized accommodations and what those are going to look like essentially in terms of implementation in classes. It's important that if students do not speak with faculty and talk about how to implement accommodations, then certainly there's no obligation to implement. So that's an important part. Just a little bit of an overview. They register with our office. They meet with a team member, one of the accessibility specialists. We review their medical documentation. So it has to be from their provider. It gives us information about their, diagnosis, functional limitations. And then, through the meetings with the specialists, we're able to determine what the reasonable accommodations are. And then they're able to just go right into our accommodation system and, make accommodation requests. And then we send out letters to faculty, and then we ask students to meet with faculty during office hours to discuss accommodation implementation. We ask that they give a 7-day notice for the accommodation implementation. And certainly we can't go back and provide anything retroactively. So if a student wasn't registered with us and they weren't authorized for accommodations, then certainly, we can't go back after the fact. Just really briefly, I know just time-wise, just to keep stuff moving, accommodations confer an unfair advantage. We've heard that at times. Certainly it's not fair or unfair. Really, it is just for the sole purpose of ensuring equal access. Students choosing accommodations from a grab bag. The students can ask for any accommodations. The reality of it is that we have to review the documentation to determine what's reasonable. And it has to be consistent with, their disability and the functional impairments that they have. Students are accommodated at the discretion of an instructor. Obviously, by the time we send out the faculty notification letters, just know that, we've reviewed their documentation, we've authorized what's reasonable. So we just want to make sure that we're going to be in compliance with federal law. If you ever have questions about an accommodation or how it's going to be implemented in a class, our team is always available to answer any questions as they come up. And certainly we would not want to have any failures to implement or ensure access in any class. So, the letters serve really as the official notification. So it's not at the discretion of an instructor. Another thing that we get sometimes that OAS serves as the long arm of the law. Certainly we're not an investigative unit. We can certainly talk with students and with faculty if there's a concern. We don't run any kind of investigations in regards to compliance or any of those kinds of things. But we work with faculty if there's a concern, or we can talk to students to determine, what's the concern, what's the class, so we can kind of walk through that. And then sometimes we just set up a time to chat briefly with an instructor if there's a question, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page and we're closing the loop on everything. Next one, I don't have time to accommodate students. Obviously, the failure to accommodate students is much more time consuming and labor intensive. There is the responsibility to provide the accommodations. Most of them are pretty straightforward. There are ways to make course material, a little bit more universally accessible, which could then, decrease some of the time as far as implementation. We do help with captioning and alternative format for students that have those accommodations. And then, resisting accommodations costs more than the time to implement. Excuse me. And so really just if you have any questions, I would just say, please reach out to the office so we can assist and support. Any questions for me?
I don't see any questions in the chat. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Susan.
Sure,
Students,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. And the website is accessibilityservices.wvu.edu, as you see on the screen now. Susan, if you don't mind stopping
Yes, let me,
sharing of screen.
yep, let me 1 second. All right, there we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And students, we will send you all these PowerPoint presentations when the speakers have sent them to me, and then we will send them all at once to you. Our next speaker, go back here, is Dr. Tricia Phillips, who is the Director of Research Integrity. Since you'll be doing a lot of research, so give your attention to Dr. Phillips.
Thanks, Dr. May. Let's see. Are you looking at my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm Tricia Phillips. I'm the Director of Research Integrity here at WVU, and I'm also faculty in the Department of Political Science. I want to start by thanking Dr. Thomas and Dr. May for inviting me to join you this morning. This is such a great event, and I always learn something new about the valuable resources on campus. So you are lucky to have an Office of Graduate Studies that's so committed to your success. I'm here today to share a bit about WVU's commitment to integrity and to help you understand what that means for you. WVU is committed to integrity in all its forms across the academic enterprise, which means your personal conduct, your academic conduct, and your research conduct. While personal integrity, academic integrity, and research integrity share many of the same principles, they have different scope and contexts. Academic integrity covers your coursework, which includes your own assignments, tests, theses, and dissertation, and any coursework that you are supervising as a TA. Research integrity covers any research you are not doing for course credit. For example, if you're working as an RA, or if you're publishing your own work in a way that's not related or required by your courses. And then personal integrity covers just about everything else. Another difference between personal, academic, and research integrity at WVU is that they have different offices. We have different support systems, and we have different reporting mechanisms, processes, and procedures. We have an entire office devoted to academic integrity that's well-staffed with helpful people. This is handled through the overarching Office of Student Conduct. There are good people there who can help you with a concern if you've got something that you're worried may be academic misconduct. And they can also provide support proactively if, for example, you want to know if something would constitute misconduct. Or if you want to support your students in helping them understand what might constitute academic misconduct. So they can help you stay on top of things, and particularly with the prevalence of AI and the way in which this is working into academic assignments and works, both as a resource and in some cases as a cheating mechanism. Stay on top of that, both proactively and retroactively, and the Office of Academic Integrity can help you with that. I work in the Office of Research Integrity, and here's a snapshot of our new website, which is currently in the sandbox, and I hope will go live any day, but probably any week. My office is where we can help you understand what research integrity means generally, what it might mean for your discipline, because the norms of acceptable practice sometimes differ across disciplines, especially given different methodologies and the ways that people engage in their work differently. And sometimes they even differ across fields, especially for disciplines that are very broad and cover a lot of different subfields and methodologies. So we're committed to helping you understand what research integrity means generally and for your discipline. And we're also committed to helping you understand the resources available to you to navigate this landscape. At WVU, we offer some educational programming. Some of this is mandatory. For example, if you are supported by a graduate research assistantship, a GRA, or sometimes referred to just as an RA, if it's federally funded grant money that's paying your stipend, then you will likely have some mandatory responsible conduct of research training. If your advisor doesn't point you in that direction, you can contact me, and I'll make sure that you get what you need. We also offer this as a la carte training. You can pick and choose among the things that we offer. if it's not required for you, or even if you've completed the required stuff and think that it was valuable and want to learn more. We offer some consulting services. If you've got like an ethical problem in your research and you want some help figuring out how to proceed, we can work with that. And we can also help with conflict resolution. That's one service that my office offers. But here I also want to give a shout out to Kayla Fulmer, who is your new graduate student ombudsperson. She's great, and she can also help with conflict resolution as well. And finally, we have reporting and investigative mechanisms that run through the Director of Research Integrity, who's me, run through our Research Integrity Officer, who is a professor of criminal investigations in the law school. And reporting mechanisms are also available through Ethics Line, which for those of you who are old enough, you would appreciate that it is an 800 number, a 1-800 number, but it's also an email portal that you can find on the WVU's websites. So I think that's all I've got. So back to you, Betty.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phillips. All right. Our next speakers are from the Graduate and Professional Student Senate. They're the only graduate student organization representing WVU graduate students. And so the President, Farzana Islam, and the Vice President, Damilola Fassino, are here to speak to you.
So, hello everyone. My name is Farzana Islam, and I'm honored to serve as the president of the Graduate and Professional Student Senate for this academic year. Today, I am accompanied by our diligent Vice President of GPSS, Damilola Fassino, and our GPSS officers. So, as many of you are aware, that West Virginia University is the home to nearly 5,000 graduate students across different campuses. The diversity within our graduate student body is truly remarkable, ranging from different kind of graduate workers to a significant portion of international students. It is this diversity that serves as the foundation of our shared platform, a platform that unites us all and amplifies our collective voices, fostering a vital connection between the students and the administration. The mission of our organization is threefold: empowerment, networking, and inclusivity. Firstly, in pursuit of empowerment, we tirelessly advocate for the concerns of our graduate students and actively participate in shaping policies that genuinely impacts our academic experience. Our goal is to bridge any gaps between the students and the administration, making sure that our voices are not only heard, but also acknowledged. This platform also provides a wonderful networking opportunity as we strive to connect peers across diverse fields and colleges, creating a robust and unified community, ensuring inclusivity in every steps. To align with our mission, what we do is we constantly advocate for the needs and concerns of graduate students to the respective administrative functions. Furthermore, we organize social events and enriching workshops, fostering connections that extend beyond our academic realm. Our primary goal is to provide an immersive experience for every student, ensuring that your concerns are addressed and issues find resolution, ultimately contributing to a fulfilling and enriching academic journey. So now our VP will guide you on how to actively engage and get involved with our organization to drive positive changes. So thank you.
Thank you, Farzana. Hi, everyone. My name is Damilola Fassino, and I'm the Vice President. I just want to talk about how you can get involved with GPSS. So we usually have a monthly meeting where we meet, we rub minds, and we share our concerns, and we look for ways forward. And also, aside that, we also have, you can also reach us via email, which is displayed here. And you can sign up to our newsletter, to our emails, our weekly emails by clicking on this link. I'll share this flyer on the chat box and also share it with Dr. Betty May so we can all have that. And also you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And what we just want to do is just to elevate your graduates' experience with GPSS. And for our first meeting, general meeting in 2024, it will come up on January 16, that's Friday, from the hours of 12 to 1. So January 5th and 16, 12 to 1. We also share that once you sign up, you get a reminder, and we also share it on our platform. And aside that, we have a GroupMe platform where we also share vital information and where you can also pass whatever concerns you have, and you can share that on the GroupMe platform. So thank you. Over to you, Fasana.
Yeah. So lastly, I know I am a graduate student as well, and this graduate student experience is going to be very hectic. You will be busy with homework, assignment, classes, but this is also extremely important for you and all the other graduate students, because if we do not share our concerns with this organization, we wouldn't be able to pass it to the administration, and that's how our concerns won't be addressed, or we won't be able to find any resolution. That's why I would request all of you to sign up so that we can regularly send you our comms and follow us on our socials and get involved with the group chat so that we can informally exchange our ideas as well. So thank you so much for your patience and for listening to us. And that's all. If you have any questions, just reach out to us through any of these platforms.
Thank you. Fasana and Damilola, if you're available, I'll ask you to stay until the end, so because we have Q&A at the end. But for now, students, do you have any questions for both Fasana and Damilola? I do have a question for you both. Maybe share your personal experience after getting, or why did you get involved? And what have you gained through being officers with this organization?
Well, first of all, this is, I think, one of the best decisions I have made after arriving here to run for the president position of this organization. As you were mentioning, this is the only platform for the graduate student advocacy. So this gives us the opportunity to hear all the concerns from the students, and then reach out to our administration for the resolutions. And I am really glad the experiences I have had with our administration, from Dr. Richard Thomas and you. Whenever I have reached out to you with some issues, I have always received some resolutions or some directions where I can pass those concerns. So this is really a fulfilling experience when we got the opportunity to solve our fellow graduate students' problems, and that is really that feels like an achievement. So Damilola, do you want to share anything?
Yes. So, and in addition to everything you've said, it has provided me the networking opportunities. And, you know, before now, I didn't know that my voice can be heard, right? Being a minority and also be an international student. So this platform, the being an officer, have shown me that yes, I can hear my opinions, and my opinions can be heard and can be acted upon. And also networking with other grad students. I know very soon we'll be having probably our happy hour where I will network with other students. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and as busy as that can be, you know, those times are times that I just go out and relax, like share the burdens, what I go through with my fellow grad students. So being an officer also has it has helped me to learn about how to manage my time management, how to combine so many things together, being a grad student, and aside the responsibilities that comes with it, it also comes with its own advantage. Thank you.
Yes, so true.
Well, thank you for answering the questions, which I missed because my home internet is unstable.
I think you're stuck again.
Yeah. So I've shared the flyer on the group. So if you just want to sign up, fill out the form, the Google form, and we'll get your contact from there. And you can join the group meet chats by scanning the barcode. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the last speaker or not. Is there
I think
is there somebody else on the agenda?
yes,
I
I'm
can
here with the
hear it.
Purpose Center.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if I was the last person, but if I'm ready to go, if so.
I'm not sure. I think Dr. May is frozen. So if you're the next person, go ahead.
Okay, I don't have the full agenda pulled up, but I will go. And if I missed anybody, then we can let them squeeze in too.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, hi, everyone. I am Kate Schlobaum. Thank you so much for being flexible. We know technology glitches sometimes, and we just roll with it. So I am here with the Purpose Center today, and I'm going to share my screen with you. So give me just 1 second here. Hopefully it's enabled. Perfect. So you guys have already talked a lot. You've had a lot of speakers and things like that. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet for you all. I know that there's a lot of opportunities being thrown at you and resources, and there's just so much good stuff to share at WVU. So this is just one more resource that you have. So the Purpose Center is a newer center here on campus. We're about 18 months old. We launched last September, and we have kind of evolved in a lot of different ways. And I'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. So why are we talking about purpose at WVU? What I'm going to talk about is I'll talk about why the Purpose Center exists and then how you as a student can use it in your graduate work. So first of all, why are we talking about purpose at WVU? Research has shown that people that get to focus on the why of what they're doing are more successful, more engaged, and have higher well-being. So when we think about what we want for our students, we want our students to be more successful, more engaged, and have high well-being. So that's why we're talking about it. So for students who understand why they wake up every day and what they want to do with all this effort they're putting into this degree that they're earning, are going to be a lot more motivated to persist and to work really hard and to seek all the resources available to help themselves be excellent in that thing they want to do. So we help students identify that. And it's really important to note too, that if you're coming into this and you don't know what your overall purpose is, that's okay. A lot of students your age don't necessarily know that right away. So we are here to help students identify what it is they want to do and to kind of clarify that. And it's also really important to note that it's not always linear. Things change as graduate students. Probably some of you had an undergraduate experience where maybe you started in one thing and you changed to a completely different path, or perhaps your graduate program is not at all in line with what you studied in undergrad, and that's okay. I think that's something people don't tell us enough. It's okay if you change your mind or if your path is not linear. So we have the only Purpose Center in the country on a college campus. So this is something, it is starting to pick up. There's a lot of universities out there that are starting to focus on purpose-based work. University of South Carolina, University of Tennessee, these are groups that are starting some strength-based programming and purpose-based programming, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. So again, kind of digging into that, I know a lot of times graduate students need to see the proof. Why does this matter? And here's just some quick statistics. So one of the things we have kind of built ourselves around is that we know statistically that college graduates say it's important that they find purpose in the work that they're doing. However, when our students graduate and they're out there in the workforce, less than 50% of people are saying that the work they do really feeds their purpose, or that they feel like that's that connection to it. So while they're saying it's important, they're not necessarily out there getting to find something that really matters to them. And we want to be able to help people find work that aligns with the things that they're interested in and with their values. We'll talk about strengths here in just a minute, but it's all about kind of connecting the dots and making sure that students have that alignment to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. And again, you can see down there that students who work with high purpose, so students that get to go out every single day and do that thing that matters to them, that really feeds their soul, gives them energy, they're 10 times more likely to report an overall high well-being. And so that's really important when we think about people holistically. We want to make sure people are taking care of themselves and they're happy and fulfilled. So that's why it matters, why we're talking about it. One of the tools we use in the Purpose Center, we have a lot of different programming, but one of the things we do a lot of is we use a tool called Clifton Strengths. You might have heard of it before. It is something that as a student, you'll have access to be able to take. And this is something from a professional development standpoint. It's going to give you the opportunity to be able to talk about what you do really well and what you bring to the table and why somebody would want you on their team. What strengths are is they basically look at what you do naturally well, how you approach problem solving, how you approach communication, how you show up for yourself and for the world. And that's going to be different for every single person on here. So giving ourselves that language of what it is that we do well and how we can use that to help ourselves and our teams be successful moving forward is, like I said, one of the tools that we use. And you can see here that people that are aware of and use their strengths, they, again, are thriving in their well-being. And so I'm not going to read all those statistics to you, but basically if you're aware of them and you get to use them in different situations, overall, you're going to have higher well-being and be more engaged and successful. So why are we focusing on this at WVU with strengths specifically? So like I mentioned, this is just one tool that we use in the Purpose Center. And this is really helpful for us to help students understand what it is that they do well. So I think one of the things that's been really interesting as we've done this work over the last 18 months is we've heard students say, I always had these natural tendencies of knowing kind of what I was good at, but I didn't have the language to be able to share that with other people. When we think about what we want to be doing after our degree, you want to be able to tell people what you're good at, whether that be in an interview for a job in industry, whether you're focusing on academia. You want to be able to tell people what it is that you do really well and why they want you on their team. And this language that you're going to gain from strengths is going to be something that helps you do that. People who get to focus on their strengths are more persistent in their degrees. So if you know what you're good at, it's going to help you stick with the things when it's hard. So when things aren't going perfectly, or maybe something's difficult or challenging, when you know what you're good at and you get to do a lot of that, you're going to be able to persist through those hard things. And it's going to also lead to increased confidence. So students who get to constantly do the things that they're naturally good at, or to be able to build teams of people that do things really well, have higher confidence. And again, that leads into that persistence. Another thing that's really useful, I think, for our students is, thinking about this from a team dynamic. You're going to do a lot of group work and research projects and things like that in grad school here at WVU. You're going to need to lean on a lot of people as those support networks. So knowing your own strengths and how you approach a situation, and maybe how the people you're working with approach situations, is going to lead to a lot more clarity and probably more productivity and better work overall. So the question I always get asked here is, okay, that all sounds great, but how do we actually engage with it as a student? Like what can I actually do with this? So there are so many things that you can do with it. We have workshops. So we just posted all of our workshops for this spring semester yesterday. So you can take a look at those and see if there's any topics that are interesting to you, but there's kind of two varieties of workshops that you can do. We have one-off workshops, which are just a single, usually about an hour, hour and a half workshop where we focus on a specific topic. And for students, we try to keep it very things that are pertinent to you. So things like using your strengths in interviewing, strengths-based goal setting, how to use your strengths to minimize overwhelm. So if any of you've ever felt overwhelmed, that's a really good topic to learn about. Then we also have some purpose-based ones that talk about finding your why. authentic personal branding, things like that, so that you can kind of talk about yourself in that way. But these are workshops that you can just take. They're free, and we try to work them around student schedules. We also have these things called pods, which are multi-session workshops. So they typically are 3 to 4 sessions long. So you commit to it over a period of time, and they allow you to dig really deeply into a topic. So we did one around your strengths and well-being, and we talked about multiple topics. So we did the overwhelm. We talked about strengths in preventative self-care, and then we talked about using your strengths to combat imposter syndrome, which was really, really popular with graduate students. So those are some things that you can do for free as a student. We also have a lot of events. So we have an event in September called Week of Purpose, where you'll see tons of workshops. We have a lot of drop-in activities, everything from making friendship bracelets with your strengths on it to filling out just quick reflections on a Post-it note, but just things that keep purpose and strengths front of mind for students. We also do free one-on-one coaching. This has been incredibly popular. We had over 300 last semester. And these are things where if you just want to talk with somebody about your strengths or talk about what it is that you're doing, they're not advising sessions per se. You have your career and academic advisors that can help you in that mentorship role. But these are, maybe you want to change paths, or maybe there's something that you want to do at the university and you're just trying to find that connection of how to get to that place you want to be. We can help you do that. We can also talk to you about your strengths and how you can either dig into one of them specifically or maybe use one of them more intentionally. You kind of get to guide what you want from that session, but they're free and you can do as many of them as you want. We also do a lot with groups. So if there's, we just worked with a really great, very analytical group out of the Research Corps, and they were a little bit skeptical about strengths as a whole, but by the time we left their session, they were talking about how they were going to use their strengths to interact with each other more efficiently and more productively. So if you're in a research group, or if you have a project group or somebody that you'd like to do a session with, we are absolutely open to doing that. And those are all free for you. And we are always happy to create customized content. So if there's something that you're like, man, nobody at the university is talking about this topic and how we can do it, we are always happy to create new content and collaborate with the right people on the university, because again, the Purpose Center is all about connecting the dots. These resources to help you be successful are here at the university. There's so many layers of support for our students, and everybody here is just trying to help you connect those dots and be successful as a student. So you can use us as a resource to help you do that. I just mentioned this, but with the Purpose Center, we're also here to help connect you to, maybe there's somebody doing research in an area that's not necessarily yours, but it's adjacent to yours, and you could collaborate really effectively. We'll help you find those collaborations, and we'll help you create those partnerships across campus. So don't be afraid to ask. I think our team at the Purpose Center is always really excited to try new challenges and to find those things. We have an extensive network of students we've worked with, alumni, people across campus. So just ask and we'll help figure out what the answer is to help you find people that fit your interest area. So I know that was really quick. It was a lot of information. What I want you to take away from the Purpose Center slides is basically that we're here to help you be successful and to help you find the resources on campus that already exist and how you can use those the most efficiently and the most productively. So if you have any questions, that is our website there. You can see the workshops that are listed with the dates, and you can actually register if you're interested in any of those. And if you have any questions after this, you can always email us at purpose@mail.wvu.edu. Does anyone have any questions for me? All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much. It looks like Dr. May is back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, so I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kate. I'm going to let Winda, our graduate assistant, take over from this point on because my home internet is just totally so unstable. Winda?
Yes, absolutely, Dr. May. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Can you all see it? So yes, so it's just, let me see. Okay, so this is, we have from our grad ed office, we have so many activities and programs for you to participate. The next one, the closest one is the Title IX training, which is on the January 10th from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. So we encourage you to register. I will send you the link on the chat as well. This is very important for us as students, as graduate student, because somehow, one thing might lead to another, and then it's like Title I is going to be very influencing in our experience here. And then the next one is that these are the list of our events in spring, and also professional development. Again, Title IX training on January 10th. And then we have the 3MT info session, 3-minute presentation. This is a competition. It's going to be in April itself, the grand finale. But if you want to learn how to make good presentation, please do join us on January 19th. Then you will learn how to make like 3-minute presentation of any projects that you have, or even to join us in the competition. And those of you, I'm sure you received an email from the health insurance, student health insurance. There will be also a session on January 29th in the afternoon. And then Kate, perhaps you'll be there again on Purpose Center workshop on February 7th. And then we will have in April Graduate Student Appreciation Week, the first week of April. And then during that week, we'll have the 3MT competition grand finale. And then also other events by National Center of Faculty Development and Diversity. I will put them in the chat. Thank you, Dr. May. Oh, you're still here? Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Linda. Students, as I said before, starting Monday morning, you should receive a weekly newsletter from us. So all of the events that we mentioned just now, they will be included in the announcements. So please make sure it is a quick read. It's maybe 3 to 5 minutes quick read. So you can see all the activities or events or professional development activities that we have prepared for you. Sometimes this is not sponsored by us, but by other university units, but they are all there for your purpose. So if Kate is still here, I don't know if you want to share a little bit about the in-person event that we have planned for February.
Yeah, I can do that. So we are going to be talking about, it was one of our well-being topics I mentioned about using your strengths to prevent imposter syndrome. So I think that is a really fun topic. I think all of us at some point in our life have felt like, I'm the expert in the room. You want me to teach you something. And I think we've always maybe felt not good enough, or like not like the person in the room that should be at the front of the room teaching. And so I'm here to first of all tell you that at this point in your education, there are going to be times where you are the expert and you are the person that's teaching and you're sharing at maybe a conference. And so we're going to talk about how to build that energy and that confidence using your strengths to minimize those feelings of imposter syndrome. So we've got some slides that we've worked through with the Caruth Center, which is our campus counseling center here, if you aren't familiar, but they've helped us develop some really great content there to help build our confidence and to make us excited about being the person that is the expert in the room.
Thank you. Yeah, so we will be sending you registration information in our newsletter. So please make sure you sign up for that. And for Title IX, I cannot emphasize that enough. Every one of you should sign up for it, okay? Because it just helps us, okay, as an individual to have the knowledge. Also, if you're a GTA or GRA, you're a student employee, you may be required. So please make sure you sign up for the Title IX training, which will be next Wednesday.
Yes, I have put the link on the chat for the registration.
Wonderful. Yeah. So we have a few minutes left. So if there are any questions, and I purposely invited the student representatives and also Linda to stay around since they are current students. So if you have questions that our students may be able to answer, feel free to put your question in the chat.
Again, I think as from my experience, I really encourage everyone who use the service and support that the WVU has, because it's going to help you in navigating your journey. Join any students association, students group, like what Farzana and Milola have here. And also like perhaps talk to Kate, because I took your session and I realized that my weakness is actually my strength. So that was just wow. So it's actually like it's going to be a lot of things that you will see here and things that you're going to need help with. So just use our support and services. It's going to be very useful and valuable for you.
And also on our website, we have a list of resources, WV resources and also local community resources that you can take advantage of. So students, please note that we are here to help you. There are many different units, whether on campus or off campus. We're here to help you to be successful. So remember our office, remember our contact information, remember to read our weekly newsletter. You can contact us through that. All right. Other immediate questions that we could help answer right now? If not, I thank you for your time, and be watching for announcements coming up in the future to join us, and I hope to see you during the semester.
Thanks, Betty.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Dr. Thomas.